So welcome everybody back to Forza Horizon 4, and yeah, since we had quite a lot of fun doing the 60s version of this event, I thought we'd do racing through the years 1970s, and yeah, it should be pretty fun. Now we're getting there in the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, which has easily become one of my favourite cars on this game. Unfortunately we're not going to get to drive this, but yeah, should have some fun in some 70s cars. Now granted, we don't get a car that is new to this game as a reward. It's only the Porsche 914/6, but it's still a pretty decent car if you haven't got it already. And yeah, you can have a pretty decent amount of fun trying to get it with this championship.
So, even though it's freezing out there, we've still got loads of people braving the weather to watch this seasonal. I don't suppose that has anything to do with you, does it?
Not at all. So yeah, we've got to choose from cars in B class for this event. So we've got the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, the Ford Falcon XA GTH Ho, the Plymouth Hemi Cuda, and the Porsche 911 Carrera RS. I think we'll, well, since it's mostly muscle cars, we'll definitely do the Porsche at some point, especially since we're going to be winning one. But for starters, I think we'll get in the Corvette, since it's one of my favourite versions of the Corvette. I love the styling, it's got a decent amount of power and torque. Doesn't weigh all that much compared to other V8 rear wheel drive cars from the time. And yeah, I do actually kind of prefer it to the previous incarnations of the Corvette before this one came out. Not quite as quick obviously as some versions of the Corvette, certainly not as quick as the Stingray from the 60s, and yeah, obviously later Corvettes were a lot quicker than this as well, but yeah, I really rather do like it, so let's hopefully have a lot of fun with it. Now we're up against the Skyline. Got a Ford Bronco to the right of us, which has probably got the best chance of dealing with any off-road elements. There's an AMC Pacer, a Lotus Elan, and something else in first place. I can't quite see at the moment. It's a Ford Mustang Mach-1. So yeah, obviously some of these cars have been upgraded to get into B class, but because I prefer to drive stock vehicles, that's why we've only got 4 to choose from. It's a Mach-1, that, isn't it? I think it is. But nonetheless, we've got 4 solid vehicles to choose from, though we only got 3 races, so yeah, I think we might not bother with the Falcon. I do prefer the Cuda after all, and only think it's fair to drive a Porsche while trying to win one. Especially since that is also one of my favourite 911s. I've got an Elan trying to catch up to us. Extremely lightweight car in comparison to this, but it has nowhere near the power. Especially even upgraded, I imagine, so got to keep up with this V8. That will do for the corners though, because yeah, even though this is probably the best handling Corvette at the time that this was released, it's still not brilliant. And completely missed that checkpoint because I was not concentrating. Struggling to get up that hill. The Elan is coming back, as well as a Skyline behind it. Right, come to the last lap. It's dealt with the off-road elements fairly well, this car. Might well have to try it on extreme off-road silly wheels if it's doing well here, even in stock form. They are far behind now. I've gained a really good lead. Let's not screw it up. So yeah, by the way, expect me to be playing Wreckfest when that comes out later this month, because it finally comes to console. Obviously it's been on PC for a long time with a lot of updates going on PC while it's on Steam, but yeah, I really don't have the capability at the moment to record and play games at the moment on my computer. I can play that game perfectly fine because it's no more taxing on a computer than the likes of BeamNG, which I can also play, but also recording at the same time brings its its extra load onto the PC, and also I don't have a second monitor to really see what's happening while recording, so yeah, that's something that's going to be delayed a little bit longer, but at least it's coming to console finally, so we can have some Demolition Derby racing in the style of Flat Out, which is one of my favourite games from the original Xbox and 360. But nonetheless, there we go, 20 solid points, and yeah, easily the fastest lap time there. Not by much, a little under a second, but still pretty good. Oh no, not. That's. I was looking at time overall, but best lap, yeah, a few hundred only slightly ahead of a Nissan GTR from 1971, but yeah, the Ford Escort was the best one there by the looks of things. But then again, that was a rally car back in its day, so no surprise there. Nonetheless, let's get on to the next race. Right, so for the second race, we're going to be going in the Porsche, so it's not quite as powerful as the Corvette, but it is lighter, and yeah, it does have better handling as well, so yeah, hopefully both of those will stand us in good stead for this race. Hate to lose in the car manufacturer that I am trying to win a car from. Pretty embarrassing, but yeah, I love this car, and yeah, it does make me wish we had more proper road cars from the 60s and 70s from Porsche. So obviously we only have this, the 914, and that's it. So yeah, I would like more from them. Nonetheless, let's get started. Right, so now we've got a Lotus Esprit, famously from James Bond up front, a Monaro, a Camaro, another Lotus Elan, another AMC Pacer behind us. The AMC Pacer is a weird kind of car. Oh no, it's not the Pacer, it's the Gremlin, I do apologise. But yeah, the AMC Gremlin is a weird car. I know it's got all of its flaws, it's got a useless gearbox, it doesn't look all that great, it's not got very much power for such a sizable engine that it has, but I don't know why, but I like it a lot for some reason. It's a car that I keep finding myself going back to if I just want to drive around on this game. Right, but nonetheless, we've got a BMW 2002 Turbo up front, and past that, because we actually have more power than it. Right, so now we've just got a Talbot Sunbeam. Yes, it is. Again, another one of my favourite cars. It's a cracking little rear-wheel drive hot hatchback, that. You thought the likes of BMW were the first to do a hot hatchback with rear-wheel drive, then you were wrong. Because Talbot did it and Vauxhall did it first. Nonetheless, this Porsche is in first. Somehow getting tyre squeal even in the snow. This 2.7 litre flat 6 engine is roaring away. Really nice sounding engine, by the way. Whee! No surprise that it's sliding around with that engine in the rear. And also dealing with snow as well, which is not giving us all the traction in the world, but is making it really rather fun to drive. Though we're not being all that quick in the process, because yeah, the Talbot is catching up on us. Along with the Monaro not far behind. Oh dear, I think we've lost it. Oh no, 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 no. now we've got work to do. It's very easy to get carried away sliding around in a vehicle like this, but it's neither fast nor predictably quick, because yeah, we just span out there, which didn't help at all. I could jinx myself by saying I hope we don't lose in the vehicle manufacturer that we're trying to win. Come on, we've got an Aussie muscle car to get past and a hot hatchback. The Aussie has taken first place. Germany's now right behind him. Come on. Yeah, you had to brake there, didn't you? You do not have the handling that I do. It's all about who's got the power down this straight. Come on. Didn't lose it around that corner this time, which is always good. And we got first, though not as easily as last time, but yeah, that was more fun than the first race, quite frankly. And yeah, another healthy 20 points, and unlike last time, we are the fastest in terms of best lap, which is all good. So that 40 points means that we are still in first place, 10 points ahead of the Talbot Sunbeam, and 14 points ahead of the 2002 Turbo. Nonetheless, let's get on to the final race for this event. Right, so for this final race, we're going to be going with the Plymouth Cuda convertible, and yeah, it's a massive £1,500 plus heavier than the Porsche, but it's got more than twice the power, and yeah, a lot more torque, so should hopefully do well here. Again, it's one of my favourite cars. It's a big shame though we can't have the convertible aspect of the car for real, but yeah, let's get going. Always seems a bit pointless to me to have a convertible version of a car on the game when, as well as a hardtop, when you're not able to use the convertible aspect of it as well. It seems a bit nonsensical to me, but at least it's a good car nonetheless, even though it is slightly heavier than the standard Cuda that we've seen on previous Forza games. But hopefully it'll do well here. Like the Corvette though, it doesn't have the best of handling, certainly not in comparison to the Porsche. But more incapable in terms of speed. Hardtop version of the car we're in. And ironically enough, we're chasing after a Corvette, the exact same one that we were in the first race. Nowhere near the same power level as me. Probably does have slightly better handling. none of that matters when you've got way more power and way more torque. We'll live with this. And a high top speed as well, because unfortunately for that Corvette it doesn't have the best of top speeds. We're near £4,000 rear wheel drive V8 muscle car though. This isn't half bad. A lot worse from this era, quite frankly. Okay, last lap. Fair old lead on our side. I imagine if this was a more corner orientated circuit we would be struggling, but because there's a couple of big straights and most of the corners are fast ones, this is performing really rather well. Well, better than I was expecting, to be honest. Expecting to struggle against the lighter, more agile stuff on this event. Final stretch, here we go. So yeah, like the first race, didn't have really all that much trouble really. So that's the problem with the AI on this game. I have it on Pro at the moment, but if you go into Expert or whatever it is after this, then they seem to get, oh no, it's unbeatable. The next one after this, they seem to get unbeatable for whatever reason. Just seems like a massive jump in difficulty, quite frankly. But there we go, 16 points ahead of the 1970 Corvette and 20 points against the ahead of the AMC Gremlin, which yeah, picked up a fair few points in that race, and yeah, picked up a fair few positions as well. It wasn't all that, wasn't anywhere near in the after the previous race, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, completed it. So yeah, if you haven't already got the Porsche 914/6, then yeah, it's well worth doing. It's, you only got 3 races to do it, and yeah, I'm sure you'll have an easy time just like I did to get it. It's a cracking vehicle. These are one of the best mid-engine rear-wheel drive cars from the period. Not the most powerful or the quickest, but certainly one of the best looking, and a pretty fun one as well to drive. And yeah, it does make me wish that we had more vehicles from the same period from Porsche, quite frankly, because like I said, we only have the 911 that we raced earlier to really use against it or have from the same period. But yeah, and there we go. Pretty fun that was. Not quite as fun I think as the 60s one, probably because I preferred the cars in that one than in this one, but still pretty fun. And yeah, circuits were pretty decent, and yeah, had a fair old amount of fun out of that, and got a fair old of money out of it as well, not just in terms of the rewards, but obviously in terms of the money you get after finishing a race. But yeah, get it, get the car if you want. It's a fun car to drive, and yeah, get a fun few races out of it as well. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.